जगदम्बिके जय जय जगजननी मां। जगदम्बिके जय जय जगजननी मां। जय कुछ रहे ना मेरा अपना, कुछ रहे ना मेरा अपना, मैं सर्वस्व चरण धाया है, मैं सर्वस्व चरण धाया है। जगदम्बिके जय जय जग जननी माँ, जय चर गया मेरी अम्बे भोर भई दिन जर गया मेरी अम्बे भोर ही जय जय कांत मगर विच आरती जय मां भोर भई दिन चर गया मेरी अम्बे भोर भई दिन चर गया मेरी अम्बे भोर ही जय जय कांत मंगल विच आरती जय मां ओ काहे दी मैया तेरी आरती बनावा काहे दी मैया तेरी आरती बनावा काहे दे पावा विच बात मंदर विच आरती जय मां तू ही जरा वाली आरती जय मां ओ सर्व सुनिधि तेरी आरती बनावा सर्व सुनिधि तेरी आरती बनावा अग्र कपूर पावा बात मदर विच आरती जय मां हेमा पिंड रानी आरती जय मां ओ मां ओ
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswate Namaha. Om Shri Guravebhyo Namaha. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanurmardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishna Mande Jagadgurum. Bolo Siyapati Ramachandra ki Jai. That was the warm-up one, right? We'll do the proper one now. Bolo Shari Shakti Rama Mata ki. Kya baat hai? Alright, so you all ready? So tonight, devotees, we'll join once more as we sing, we chant, we glorify the divine name of Bhagwan. As we enter the holy pages of the scriptures, as we listen to beautiful katha, tonight we continue. We are hearing about Parvati Mata, the birth of Parvati Devi, and she's placed in front of Narad Muni, Narad Ji now. What is about to happen, we will hear next. But before doing so, today being, today's what day again? Alisha? How you know it's Wednesday? You were there when they invented days? Isn't that a very, very important thing? We were not there, you know, when they invented it. How were days invented? The days that we follow, which system does that come from? Days of the week? What system it comes from? Where it comes from? Huh? The British system, right? We follow. And we have now inculcated it into Hinduism as well, right? Mixing it up. In Hinduism, we follow Tithi. We don't follow days. So you remember I was telling you some wonderful things over the last couple nights, right? But nevertheless, today they say is dedicated to Lord Ganesha, Bhagwan Shri Krishna. So we'll glorify that name of Bhagwan Shri Krishna before we enter into our yagna for tonight. Mapadha Nipa Mapa 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 Nipaga Gamapa Mare Sari Ni Sari Sadha Dani Re Sa. Together, very simple. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari. Sing.
Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari
Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari.
Jai Radha
Sing, devotees. We are singing this because it's simple to chant for everybody. Jai Gopi Jan Vallabha
Jai Gopi Jan Vallabha
Jai Gopi Jan Vallabha
Jai Gopi Jan Vallabha
Jai Girivardhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari
Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari
Yashodanandan Rajajana Ranjan
Yashodanandan Rajajana Ranjan
Yashodanandan Rajajana Ranjan
Yashodanandan
Yashodanandan Vrajajana Ranjana जनरञ्जना
यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन
यमुनतीरवनचारी
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 जय गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर
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 जय गोवर्धन धारी
जय गोवर्धनधारी
जय गोवर्धन धारी
जय गोवर्धनधारी
जय गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव
जय कुंज बिहारी
So if that was too difficult for you to sing, then this is much simpler and it's much easier. So let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
All right. I wouldn't continue singing until this thing balanced and much. Half the crowd clapping. What happened to the next half? You all tired? Oh, how nice. So, you have to participate. You have to add to the vibration, the energies we are creating in this day and age of Kali Yuga. Sange Shakti Kali Yuga. It is said in this day and age of Kali Yuga, organization is power. That's why we come in the mandir to chant. You ain't come in the mandir to sit down and look pretty. Some people come here for the looks. Right? We came here to chant, we came here to sing. You came here to participate and be part of divine celebration in the name of that divine mother. I told you when you clap, for the new ones, since you were not here, I'll tell you. When you clap, you are activating 3 key principles. Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. How so? You create with your hands, you sustain with your hands, and you also can bring an end to something with your hands. All the 3 powers are present here. So when you clap, you activate, and you activate all of the energy centers in your body, cleansing and purifying yourself. So let's clap together. Let's sing with love, with faith and devotion. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama Rama Rama
Together.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Bolo.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Bolo
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Bolo
Hare Krishna, Hare
Together
Krishna,
devotees sing.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Bolo Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai Narayan devotees. What a wonderful way to start. Hopefully, as we go along, you all will start participating a little bit more. So, I know maybe sometimes you're accustomed going satsang and you sit down quietly and nobody tells you anything. You be quiet when the katha is going on and you listen. But when the chanting is going on, you're here to rejoice. You're here to glorify that name of Bhagwan so that you can benefit. You can be blessed greatly. There's a whole scientific process that is going on there, just like when we chant mantras. Mantra japam, you chanting mantras. Just so when you are chanting here and you're singing and you're glorifying, you're performing the same thing. Right? What does a mantra do? A mantra helps to calm the mind. It helps to make you focused. But also, a mantra is a formula. You like your mathematics? 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 and 1 equals 11. All right. So, like mathematics, you have a formula. 1 plus 1 equals something. The mantras, when they are chanted a certain way, it is sending a vibration. It is sending a signal, a frequency out to the universe. And in return, the universe has to match that frequency. When you do the puja, basically that is what we are doing. You're sending a message. That's why we have sankalp. You chant a declaration stating the time, the season, the year, the place, the location of the mantra that the puja, is being done. It's very important. Right? When you do the puja, you're supposed to experience something. You're supposed to feel something. Not so? Same way I was telling you when a couple nights ago, when you do the yagna, you're also supposed to feel and experience something. It's not that every year in your home you do yearly puja. Well, you know, I call Baba and I book puja and I do 9 puja and put up 9 jandi in front of the house. Jai Bhagwan. And then Baba go see you next year. Right? And every year we go like that. No devotees. Something is supposed to happen. Something is supposed to transpire. There's a process that is going on. These things are very important. If you go way back, right, in the previous ages, you'll see how important these ceremonies, these rituals are. None of these things are for guess. None of these things are for style. Everything is for a reason. Everything is for a purpose. So tonight, once more, as we are here to join, you will hear, you learn many lessons. I hope that you open your mind and you listen very, very carefully. I would like to say special sitaram to Bhai Pandit Randiji. Thank you so much for taking the time to be present with us here. I know he's very close to many of the members in the mandir here. You can come nearby and sit by. You don't have to sit so far. And to all of you as well, devotees, thank you so much for taking the time to come to join with us here today. So let's join at this point in time as we join in our opening Arati. Arati ke liye sab kara ho jaye. Please stand as we join in our opening Arati. Om Sajam Trivarti Sanitama Hina Yojata Mayadipam Granadeva Shatrailokyam Timirapaham Deepam Nirishami. कानिच पापानि जन्मंतर कृतानि च तानि तानि विनश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा प्रिय परिदीपं दर्शयामि Together, we sing and we chant with faith, love and devotion.
Jai Ambe Gauri, Maya Jai Shama Gauri, Maya
Jai Ambe Gauri, Maya Jai Shama Gauri.
Jai Ambe Gauri, Maya Jai Shama Gauri. तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्मा शिव जी
तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्मा शिव जी.
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी बोलो
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी.
मांग सिंदूर विराजत दी को मृग मद को मांग सिंदूर विराजत दी को मृग मद को उज्ज्वल से दो नैना चंद्र बदननी को मैया
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी. जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी.
कनक समान कलेवर रक्तांबर राजे कनक समान कलेवर रक्तांबर राजे रक्त पुष्प गलमाला कंधन पर साजे मैया जय अम्बे गौरी बोलो
मैया जय श्यामा गौरी. जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी.
के हरि वाहन राजत गदग कपरदारी के हरि वाहन राजत गदग कपरधारी सुर नर मुनि जन सेवत दिन के दुखहारी मैया जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा
Sing the devotees.
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी.
कान कुंडल शोभित नासाग्रे मोती कानन कुंडल शोभित नासाग्रे मोती कोटिक चंद्र दिवाकर राजत सन ज्योति मैया
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी. जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी.
शुम्भ निशुम्भ विरारे महिषासुर घटे शुम्भ निशुम्भ विरारे महिषासुर घटे धूम्र विलोचन नैना निषिधन मदमती मैया जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी
Sing with love, devotees.
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी.
जन्म मुंड संहारे शोणित बीज हरे जन्म मुंड संहारे शोणित बीज हरे मधु कई तब दो मारे सुर बही न करे अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी बोलो
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी
ब्रह्माणी रुद्राणी तुम कमला रानी ब्रह्माणी रुद्राणी तुम कमला रानी आगम निगम बखानी तुम शिव पतरानी मैया जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी बोलो
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी
64 योगिनी गावत नृत्य करत भैरो 64 योगिनी गावत नृत्य करत भैरो बाजत ताल मृदंग अरु बाजत डमरू मैया जय अम्बे गौरी बोलो
मैया जय श्यामा गौरी जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी
तुम ही जग की माता तुम ही हो भरता तुम ही जग की माता तुम ही हो भरता भक्तन की दुख हरता सुख संपत्ति करता मैया जय अम्बे गौरी बोलो
मैया जय श्यामा गौरी जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी
भुजाचार अतिशोभित वरमोज धारी भुजाचार अतिशोभित वरमुद्र धारी मन वांछित बल पावत सेवत नर नारी मैया जय अम्बे गौरी बोलो मैया जय श्यामा गौरी
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी
कंचन थाल विराजत अगर कपूर बाती कंचन थाल विराजत अगर कपूर बाती श्रीमल की तुम्हें जत कोटि रतन ज्योति मैया जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी बोलो
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी
श्री अम्बे जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे श्री अम्बे जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे कहत शिवानंद स्वामी सुख संपत्ति पावे मैया जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी सिंह बोली जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी बोलो श्यारी शक्ति श्यामा माता की जय नारायण आराम से बैठिए सीट yourselves most comfortably but what do I say comfortable enough to be able to listen to the katha not too comfortable before you sleep away so devotees katha continues tonight as we listen to that divine mother Parvati Mata being born, right? And as she takes birth, what happens? Her father, being Himachal, Himalaya, he's called by all different names, Himavat, Himavan, right? The Himalaya mountain. So he's the king of that particular mountain. He places this child as Narad Muni comes to visit home, a great saint that we all know is a favorite of everyone. As he comes there, after washing the feet of that saint and giving him a wonderful seat to sit on all of these different things, he places that child in front of Naradji. And placing that child over there, he says, Trikalagya Sarvagya Tumha Gati Sarvatra Tumhari Kahahu Suta Ke Dosh Guna Munibar Hridaya Bichari. He says, oh noble saint. Says, this is where we stopped last time, right? You know everything, including past, present, and future. How many of us know all of that? Jai Bhagwan. So he knows past, present, and future, including all of the Shastras, all of the scriptures, right? Kahahu Suta Ke Dosha Guna Munibar Hridaya Bichari. Reflect and tell me of all the doshas and all the gunas. Tell me of all the negative things that she will have to encounter, and also tell me of all the positive things that she will encounter in her life. Now, last night we also said, nobody wants, what is that? Sukh ke sab saathi, dukh mein na koi. Everybody wants happiness. Nobody wants sorrow. But yet in life, sometimes we always gravitate towards the things that look nice and shiny and glittering. But those are the things that will bring us the most sorrow, because that is the Maya, the elusive power of the Lord, that is captivating you. Even Narad Muni, one time he was captivated by that. He wanted Dulahin and thing. And he didn't have to take no Dulahin because his purpose was to remain a saint, a sage, right? But he get caught up. Bhagwan Vishnu manifest, fashioned this entire city, right, with a princess and all of that. And in fact, it infatuated him. He started to forget everything. What prayers? What chanting mantra? Narayana, Narayana, that gone. Jai Bhagwan. It's only Nari, Nari now. So he's thinking about Dulahin. But that was for one purpose, right? That led to Bhagwan coming on the earth as Prabhu Shri Ram and all of that. So, Narad Muni being here, being this one that knows past, present, future and all of that, all of the Shastras, this father, the king, says now, tell me about all the good things and tell me about all the bad things as well. What happens next as the sage starts to speak, devotees? We join as we listen. Jai Durga Maiya, Jai Durga Maiya, Jai Durga Maiya, Jai Durga Maiya.
Jai Durga Maiya,
Sing devotees.
Jai Durga Maiya, Jai Durga Maiya.
Kaha muni bihasi gu Amridubani Suta tumhari sakal gun kani Sundar sahaj sushil sayani Naam Uma Bika Bhavani Jai Durga Maiya, Jai Durga
Maiya, Jai Durga Maiya, Jai Durga Maiya.
सब लक्षण संपन्न कुमारी हुई संतत पिय ही प्यारी सदा चले ही करवाता यही तेजसु ही पितु माता जय दुर्गा मैया जय दुर्गा मैया जय दुर्गा मैया जय दुर्गा मैया लो श्यारी शक्ति शर्मा माता की जय कहा मुनि बिहसी गूढ़ा मृदु बानी in very beautiful, gentle and sweet tones. That sweet tone of voice there, that sage starts to speak and he says, smilingly, right? Suta tumhari sakala gunakhani. Says, your daughter is a storehouse of all the virtues you can think about. Now who doesn't want to hear that? Jai Bhagwan. You go to Baba, say, Baba, check and see what check and see what the book tell me. Open book for me na. Tell me what the book tell me. Baba, I want to know if I have Agra. When you go by the Baba, the intention you go with is something wrong with you. Yes or yes? You don't know there, right? You go with the intention that something is wrong. What is the answer you're going to get? The moment you hear Baba say, well, if I tell you, get one little sprain in your toe. Oh God, Baba, accident, Jai Bhagwan. And you start thinking, accident, accident, accident now, and you program your mind and you think about that over and over and over repetitiously now. You program your mind in such a way that you bring that into, you manifest that into reality in your life. Do you know you have that power? We are so powerful beyond imagination, sometimes we don't even realize it, devotees. You go with the right mindset. You don't want to go with the intention, oh, something is wrong. No, you go with the intention, well, I would like to know. So if there's something that I need to work on, I can work on it. But I also want to know all good things and everything that is coming as well. And you keep a positive outlook on things, an optimistic outlook, not negative. Right? Not everything happen, you're looking for a fault. We don't want that. You want to look for the good things in situations. So here now, first thing he says, Suta tumhari sakala gunakani. She is the storehouse of all virtues. Sundara, beautiful. Sahaja sushila sayani. Right? Beautiful, pleasant, all of these different things. Right? Intelligent. Right? By nature itself. Nama Umma, her names are. So here now, he gives names. You remember last time I was talking about Rasi name? Jai Bhagwan. Right? So, Nama Uma Ambika Bhavani. Says her names are like this. Uma, Ambika, Bhavani, you know, Mother, Light. All of these different ways. These are the kind of things, right? Because she's beautiful. She is divine. And when we speak about beauty here now, the word Sundar, if you put that in the context. Sundar. You know what Sundar means? Right here in Trinidad, we had a Sundar Popo. A beautiful Popo. Sundar means beautiful. That's what it means, right? I was telling you about names also and understanding what they mean, right? Sundar. Sundar, you can break up that word into two words. You get Su and you get Andar. Su in Sanskrit means good things. Very good, right? Andar means on the inside. Swandar or Sundar now becomes one who is beautiful not just on the outside, but beautiful on the inside. Don't go calling people Sundar all over the place. Eh? Say, oh, you're well beautiful. Jai Bhagwan, Jai Bhagwan. No. Must be beautiful on the inside also. Not just on the outside. But understand this. How you are on the inside, no matter how long you try to hide it, devotees, it will show up eventually on the outside of you. So you have to be good on the inside because it's eventually going to show on the outside. If you're bad on the inside and you're hiding it, right, it will reveal itself eventually. Three things, right, that can't remain hidden for long. The sun, the moon, and the... Somebody said it's the truth. Go to one though, right? Sun, the moon, and the truth. It can't remain hidden for long. It will eventually come to light. So giving all these wonderful names now, says Sabalakshana Sampana Kumari. She is adorned with all the positive marks of character and fortune and all of these things, right? Says, Hoe hi samtata piye hi piyari. And she will win the unfailing love of her husband. Isn't that something you want to hear for your child also? If you have a daughter growing up, you want to know that one day when time to get married that she's going to have what? A husband that loves her immensely and unconditionally. Not with conditions, eh? I love you because I want this, I want that, and I want you to be like this, and I want you to be like that. It doesn't work so, eh? Kya baat hai? We live in a real Kali Yug these days, you know? Right? All sorts of situations you encounter. You don't love somebody because you want something from them. You love them for who they are. And you offer something to the relationship. That's how it's supposed to be. Right? If it ain't like that, run, eh? Well, I mean, if you're 20, 30, 40 years in a Jai Bhagwan, you can't do nothing, you know. You have to compromise, right? So not long ago, people used to say, the older people would say, well, we make it work. No matter what, we make it work. Nowadays, Jai Bhagwan. One little thing go wrong, they dies it, you know. Dulahin pakbagan, gone. Right? It's a different time that we are living in. But what I'm saying is that I will never recommend. People ask that question sometimes also. Baba, what do you think about divorce? Now, in the Sanskrit language, there's no word such as divorce. Eh? Right? We don't have that word of divorce because that was never meant to happen. But you have to move and adapt and understand the time in that we are living in. If you are living in a situation, though, now, don't say Baba advising people to break up, but I'm very realistic and I'm very practical. If you are in a situation where you are unhappy and every single day of your life you're struggling and suffering, you were not born to suffer and struggle, Baba, what do you say to that? You're not born to suffer and struggle. You were born to live happy as a human being. If you are unhappy, What are you doing? You there for your looks? Same thing again, right? You have to understand. So, to fix that, start from the beginning, as I told you. Go through certain sanskars. Seek guidance in advance. Don't wait when it reaches. Child now becomes, what? 27, 28, 29. You come by Baba now. The parents come, eh? You come with the daughter and you come in with the in-law now too. Baba, we want to check the patra to see if it match. Match? No. Them much more than I could check. Bapre. Now you want people, I'm telling you, still coming on what you want to match now. Long ago, you have to understand application and the time, right? Long ago, they didn't used to even meet. You check the horoscopes to see now. I've fallen in certain people gardening away, right? Planted. So, I didn't even think about it. See how the universe does work? Poor sister of mine. Jai Bhagwan. So, the thing about it is that now, you already meet and you decide who you love and all these things, right? Long ago, they wouldn't meet. So you check the horoscopes to see if there's a possibility that they will share a good bond. That is what compatibility is. What do you think compatibility is? Or because it say here that the two horoscope match, that means life go good. Well, life go good. I know some people check it and it's real good. Matching the highest matching. It'll last 2 days good. Telling you. And some people never check and they live more happy than anybody else. No, I'm not telling you don't check, but if you have to do it in the early stages. Don't wait until it get too late down the road, right? It will fall in many people's garden. I wasn't directing anything. The Lord is speaking. So, you need to know, right, guidance. If you don't check, well then understand that here's what. It is up to two individuals. Swamiji always says, it is up to two individuals to make a relationship work. Don't think that the book will make it work, The power is not in the book. The power is in the two individuals. If you choose to not make that work, it will not work. Yes or no? He said, no. The Patra book say that I have to be unfaithful. Jai Bhagwan. You see the kind of thinking that we have in society sometimes, right? So here now, I'm saying this, it's preparing you for what is coming next. And I didn't even watch the next verse. You see how the universe working? So it is said here now, Sada chala ehi kara hivata, ehi te jasu pe hahi pitu mata. Right? And her marital happiness will be as firm as and as solid as a rock. She will also bring great glory to her parents. But here how the verse goes there now. Hoi hi puja sakala jagamahi. Ehi sevat kachu durlabha nahi. She shall command respect in all of the world, and whoever worships her shall lack nothing at all, right? Ehi karanamu sumiri sam sara. By the mere thought, right? Triya charihahi pati brata asi dhara. By the mere thought of her name, right? Women in this world shall tread the path of wifely fidelity. They will be loyal to their husband by worshipping, by thinking of the name of Parvati Devi. Even though it is said that this path is as narrow as the edge of a sword. You see, everything is written in the scripture. Narrow as the edge of a sword. So, you want to have a good marriage? What do? Ladies, you worship the Divine Mother. Fellas, you want to have a good marriage? What do? Worship Lord Shiva. And then two of you together worship the Lingam. You want to maintain it? Worship the union between Lord Shiva and Parvati. But that's the next kata, right? We'll go to that next day. Worship the Lingam together. And you pray for marital happiness. But don't think also you just worship and then you go and do whatever you want and tra-la-la-la. No. It takes plenty things. It takes communication and trust and loyalty and understanding and all of that. Yeah? That is very important in order to make it work, to make a relationship work. So, here now, as this is said, that sin, he continues to say, what does he say? Dum durge mata, Shakti, Shakti mata, bro.
Dum durge mata, Shakti, Shakti mata.
सैल सुलक्षण सुता तुम्हारी सुनहु जे अब अवगुण दुई चारी अगुना मान मातु पितुहीना उदासीन सब संशय चीना तुम दुर्गे तुम दुर्गे तुम दुर्गे माता ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति माता बोलो
तुम दुर्गे तुम दुर्गे तुम दुर्गे माता ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति माता
योगी जतल काम मन लगन मंगल बे अस स्वामी ही कहा मिली परी हंसते सिरे तुम दुर्गे माता ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति माता तुम दुर्गे माता ओम शक्ति माता ओम शक्ति माता ओम शक्ति माता बोलो श्यारी शक्ति शर्मा माता की जय सैल सुलक्षण सुता तुम्हारी सुनहु जे अब अवगुण दुई चारी. Your daughter, he says, O king, has all of these auspicious marks. Sunahu je ab avaguna dui chari. But listen now to a few setbacks that she has. So he tells the good one first now. So he eases the blow. You know, he tells the good one and then now he tells the bad one. So anybody asks you which news you want first, good or bad, take the good one first. It will make the bad one easier after, right? You have to do it strategically. Aguna amana matu pitu hina. Aguna aman, one who has no pride, one who has nothing, doesn't think about nothing, no merit at all. Matu pitu hina, no mother, no father. Udasina saba samsaya china. A sage, an ascetic, a sage, right? That has no concern whatsoever about this world. Udasina sava samsaya china. Has no concern at all. He's not thinking about anything. He's not thinking about no one. He's not worrying about what is happening to you. He's not worrying about what is happening to you. He's just there. He's just there, right? Jogi jatala akam mana nagana amangala vesa. So, an individual now, again, jogi, like a yogi, right? A sage, with a jata, right? Matted here. Akama, a heart, akama mana nagana amangal vesa. A heart that has no desire whatsoever, right? He has such an inauspicious disguise. You see, I have to put the words, I have to put it as nice as possible, right? He has such an inauspicious disguise. Almost naked he is, right? Asa swami, right? Ehi kaha milihi pari hasta asi reka. Such an individual will become her husband from the lines that I read on her palms. Jai Bhagwan. Imagine you here and that now you're in that position and you know that this sage knows what he's talking about. And you hear that this is going to be the outcome, right? Suni muni gira satya jiyajani duku dampatihi umahar sani. Hearing these words now, these words and believing them, of course, as I said, knowing who the saint is, Himalaya and his wife, they became very sad. Naradhu yaha bedu na jana. Dasa ek samujava bila gana. But Parvati is rejoicing. She's in her young age at this point in time. She's not concerned about anything at all. Naraji, even at this point in time, couldn't realize what was happening because their outlook is one way, but deep on the inside, they are feeling all of these pain, right? Their outer expression was different, but their feelings on the inside was completely the opposite. Devotees. Sakala sakhi girija giri maina pulaka sarira bare jala naina. Parvati and all of her friends and all of them who were there, Maina, the mother of Parvati, the father, everybody. They were in such a state at this point in time that their eyes became filled with tears. All of them is feeling something else at heart. But Parvati here now, she's just there, right? Her heart is actually rejoicing. Why? Because her heart already has a connection to Lord Shiva. Before she even knows it. Remember I told you when you are born, you come with a connection to God already. Not so? Your heart that is beating, the beat that is there in your heart, that is Bhagwan. How so? When you ever see somebody in the hospital hook up to an ECG machine, the electrocardiogram, that's a machine that go beep, beep. Yeah? You see the movies and again? Right, it's go beep, beep, and you like to see it going so end. When it starts to go beep, you don't want to see that, right? We don't want that. Because when it goes beep and it goes flat, what happens? Say a flat line. Ramnam? All afraid to say it now. Don't wait until it's too late, say it now. Ramnam? Satya hai. Now you have to say it loudly. Or you think that means somebody dead? No, it don't mean somebody dead. Ram Nam Satya Hai means the Lord name is the truth. That's what it means. Let's say, I say Ram Nam, you say Satya Hai. Ram Nam, Satya Hai. Right, don't wait till people dead and think to say it. Say it when you live in. So when you're dead, you have to worry about who say it. And Babaji, you don't have to worry about who say it at that point in time. They can say it, they cannot say it, right? So, here now, she is feeling something different because of the connection that she has to Lord Shiva already. So she has brought that forth into this existence now, into this avatar. She was in Sati's form before. She gave up that body and she asked for a boon of Hari, Lord Vishnu. That in every successive birth I must become the consort of Lord Shiva. So here now, her heart is rejoicing, but everybody else is feeling different, right? Hoi namrisa devrishi bhasha Uma so bachanu hriday dhari rakha. Here now, their eyes are filled with tears because it is said here that they know that this sage, his words cannot be untrue. It has to be true. Parvati cherished these words in her heart. What happened next, devotees? You listen, we sing and we chant. Dum Durge Mata Om Shakti Mata Bolo
Dum Durge Mata Om Shakti Mata
Upajeo Shiva Pada Kamal Sanehu Milana Kadhina Manava Sandehu Jani Kuwa Varasu Pati Durai Saki Uchanga Beti Punijai Dum Durge Mata Om Shakti Mata Bolo
Dum Durge Mata Om Shakti Mata
Juti न हुई देवऋषि बानी सोचा ही दंपति सखी सयानी उर्दरी धीर कहे गिरई कहु नाथ का करिय उपाय दुम दुर्गे माता ओम शक्ति माता दुम दुर्गे माता ओम शक्ति माता ओम शक्ति माता ओम शक्ति माता बोलो श्री शक्ति शर्मा माता की जय उपजेव शिव पद कमल स्नेहु मिलन कठिन मन भा समदेव. This love for Lord Shiva has sprouted in her heart. But she is thinking now, it might be difficult. How do I win him over? How do I find him and make him my love, you know? Jani Kuwa vasaru priti durai sakhi uchanga baithi puni jai. Now, thinking that the time at this point in time is inappropriate for disclosing that, her emotions and all of that, she just went along with her friends and, you know, they would engage in play and all of these different things. Jhuthi na hoi devrishi bani sochahi dampati sakhi sayani. Again, it is said here, the prophecy of this divine sage could not be false, right? And this thought is making Himavan and his wife, the king and his wife, very, very sarat heart, right? Urdhari dhira kahe girirao kahu nataka kariyau pao. Now, gathering himself, the king says now, tell me, O Holy One, tell me, what remedy should we now put into action to make sure, obviously, that it doesn't happen like he would have described? What can we do? So the first step is what? You seek guidance. You go to the guru, as the case may be, you get guidance. You know what the situation is. The next thing that you do is you should be offered a remedy, or you should ask for one. What is the remedy? What do I do next to alleviate whatever negative situations are there in my life, to change and, you know, adjust the situations so that it doesn't happen the exact way that it's written there. Now, this next verse is going to tell you about faith, obviously, and that what is declared by faith, no one can undo, right? Kaha munisa himavamta sunu jo bidhi likha lilara. So, that great saint now is telling the king, he says, whatever has been declared by faith, so be it, right? No one can undo. Deva Danuja Nar Nag, right? So the Deva, the gods, Danuja, referring to the demons here, right? Nara, men, Naga, the serpents, Muni, the saints, right? Kouna, Metanihara. Even all of them, none of them can undo it. So what does that leave for us now? If it is said that whatever is decreed by faith, it cannot be changed. Look at this here now and look at how strategically the sage finds a solution. So, that is also the purpose of the Guru. That's why you go to the Baba. You didn't go by Baba and say, Baba, give me something, walk something for me now. You want a short method. Take the long one. The short one will only last for a very short time. Short time. But the long one, you do it properly, it might be a little more difficult. Yes, it'll be very difficult. Let me not lie to you. But the longer part will also last longer. So you ask for a remedy, but he says, what is written is written. And he goes on to say, Tadapi eka mai kau upai hui kare jau dayu sahai. He says, nevertheless, I'll tell you one remedy. This may work if the beings of the higher realms and all these things help you. So in this context, and if you put it in that context, if Bhagwan himself decides to help you, it will work, right? Jas baru mai barne utumapai milihi umahi tasa samshaya nahi. Uma, meaning Parvati, will definitely wed a husband as I have described to you. There's no two ways about it. But JJ bar ke dosh bakane te sab shiva pahi mai anumani. But all of those demerits that I explained, they exist in an individual by the name of Shiva. So look how nice and easy he brings it in there now, right? And listen to what he says. Jau bivahu sankara sana hoi do sauguna sama kaha sabu koi. If she gets married to Lord Shiva, then everyone will call all of these demerits as virtues. Alright, so let's clarify that there now. So you say, well, all of these demerits, if she gets married to Lord Shiva, then everybody will call it virtues. Why? When you go by Bhagwan and you go with all your problems and your difficulties and your troubles and all the negative karma that you created in this world, devotees, what do you want to achieve? And what do you want to happen? What do we want to happen? We want that when we go, we say, Bhagwan, we surrender and we ask you to forgive us and we ask for you to bless us and to cleanse and to purify and remove all the negative things that we have done. Bhagwan Shiva is one such individual. What do I mean by this? Lord Shiva, when you look at him, he's standing here right now, right? Standing form. But normally when you see him, he is seated like this, how I'm seated right now. And his eyes are half open and half closed. It's not completely closed and it's not completely open. It's half open and it's half closed. He is seated in dhyanam, in meditation, contemplation, but he is also in a state of something in Sanskrit that is called as samatvam, which means a state of balance, a state of equilibrium, a state of equipoise, which is what we should strive to attain. He is neither connected externally fully, nor he is internally connected fully. He is in a state of balance amongst everything. Happiness, sorrow, all the dualities you can think about in the world, good and bad, positive and negative, right? All of that, he is balanced in between all of that. And that's the level you want to achieve. When neither the good affects you, nor the bad affects you. Because you know in this world, the good things make us excited. And we get happy and joyous. And when the bad things come, what happens? Oh God, I can't make. We get sad, right? And we get sorrowful. We need to try to get to that state, devotees, when neither affects us. Good thing happens, Jai Bhagwan. Bad thing happens, Jai Bhagwan. Lord Shiva devotees. I'm not saying it's easy. I know it's not easy. Trust me. I know from experience too. It's not easy. It's easier said than done. But you can do it if you put your mind to it. Bhagwan Shiva, why, again, would the demerits seem like virtues? Because he is the one that takes our demerits and makes it into virtues. How so? Lord Shiva helps us to attain the state of peace. By doing what? He is called, what do we call him in Hinduism? What portfolio does he govern over? He's the Brahma the creator, Vishnu the sustainer, and Lord Shiva the what? Sure? The reabsorber. Bringing back things into a state of balance. God doesn't destroy anything. But if he destroys, what does he destroy? It is said, it is written also in Hanuman Chalisa, right? At the end of the Doha, in the beginning. Lord Hanuman is Ekadas Rudra, or 11th incarnation of Lord Shiva. So they basically fulfill similar purposes, right? Harahu Klesha Vikar. He removes the kleshas and vikaras of the mind. Kam, Krodh, Mad, Lobh, Ahamkar, Matsarya, right? Anger, lust, greed, false pride, hatred, jealousy. All of these things. That is what Bhagwan Shiva does. So when you worship him, all of your demerits will seem like virtues. Because all the darkness that is within, it will now be eradicated. It will become removed. Anyone upon the face of this earth, devotees, no matter how terrible or bad you think you are, when you surrender the feet of Bhagwan with pure faith, love and devotion, Bhagwan has the power and the ability to turn everything around for you. Here, as this great saint, he says this. Here now, he says, the demerits I mentioned exist in Shiva. If she be married to him, then all of these demerits will seem as virtues. Because Parvati getting wedded to Lord Shiva, all of her demerits and everything, if she creates any, will also disappear. They will come into a state of balance together. He says, Jo ahi seja, sayan hari karahi, buddha kachu tinha kar, doshu na dharai. Even though Hari, right, Lord Vishnu, sleeps on Sheshnag, the thousand-headed serpent, nobody sees that as his fault. The wise, he says, the wise knows it is no fault of him. It's to bring balance again. Bhanu Krishanu Sarbarasa Khahi Tinha Kaha Manda Kahatako Nahi. The sun and the fire absorb moisture in all sorts of forms, right? But nobody blames the sun. Right? Nobody blames the fire for that, because that's it. That is the purpose of that. Why are you going to blame it? Subha Aru Asubha Salila Sabha Bahai Surasari Ko Apunita Na Kahai Samarata Kahu Nahi Doshu Gusai Rabi Pavak Surasari Ki Nai. So again, even though water of any kind, river, any kind of river that you can think of, the drain, you have different kinds of water, right? Pure, impure, all of those, right? Even though it flows into, where does it flow? It goes into the ocean. Aren't all of the oceans in the world connected? Also connected to Ganga. It is said here, even though it flows into Ganga, nobody calls that holy river, say that it's impure water. Not so. They burn bodies and float it on the Ganges. And people go and drink that water. Because it's considered holy. The river is considered holy. Right? Just like the sun, the fire, Ganga Mata, he says, just like all of them, the mighty and the powerful incurs no blame. But here's the problem with that, right? When people get power now, sometimes the wrong people, when they get power as well, they abuse it, they misuse it. And at the end of the day, sometimes they don't also get blamed. They are there and you sometimes can't do anything about it at all. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Jao asa hisisha karahi nara jara vivek abhiman. And look, it is said right here, right? But if in pride now, the pride of wisdom, having a lot of wisdom, He says, dull-witted or stupid men emulate the great now. So there are men out here who they have some wisdom now and they think, well, okay, well, I'm better than everything and everyone. What starts to happen there now? Something starts to rise inside of them. Not man, man is pride. Abhiman starts to rise. False pride starts to rise on the inside. He says, if they emulate the great and they're trying to, basically, they're like imposters then, in other words, right? पर ही कलप भरे नरक महु जीव की issa samana. It is said that they are cast into hellish experiences for an entire eon, an entire lifetime of the universe, basically. It says, can this jiva, this embodied soul, be compared to God? Ishvara amsa jiva vinashi. Bhagwan, Lord Shiva said in the beginning of Ramayana, he said that we are part and parcel of the ultimate Ishvara. But when you think about it, God is the ocean and we are like droplets of water, right? So if you take this for example. So what we have here, aqua is not aqua pure anymore. It's aqua pur. Aqua pur, right? Aqua pur. Okay, good. So it changed now, right? It has no E at the end now. So I have a bottle of water. Yeah? Good. I have a bottle of water here. Aqua pur water, right? That's definitely not pure. Now, it have the ocean. The ocean has water. You have a lota of water there? Also? You have two, right? Jai Bhagwan. You have lota of water there. If I take this water and I go and pour it in the ocean, Auntie Mina, and I tell you pour the lota of water in the ocean, and after both of us pour these two sets of water, I have a different one here, you have a different one, not so? After both of us pour this in the ocean, I tell you, go back and find your lota of water. You say, Baba, Jai Bhagwan. What kind of hard test is this? You can't find back the lota water. Why? Because the water in the lota would have now become one with the ocean. What happened to my water? Can I find it back? This would have now become one with the ocean. Bhagwan devotees is like that vast ocean. And we are like the water contained in the vessel. Arey, your body is made up of what? 75%? Not so? 75% water your body is made up of. Think you could fool me? Right? I don't think I can fool you. I'm telling you the truth, you see? So, here, God is like the ocean. You're like that little droplet of water. But at the end of the day, Bhagwan is vast. He's omniscient. He's omnipresent. He's omnipotent. When you are in this physical body, you are limited to certain extents. Yes? Our potential is very, very powerful if you can get to that state of realization. But while you're in the physical body, living as the average human being, at the end of the day, it is limited to a certain extent. Like, for example, Prabhu Shri Ram and Hanumanji was having a conversation at one point in time. And Prabhu Shri Ram asked Hanuman, he said, Hanuman, he said, what is the difference between you and I? Right? Or what is the similarities? What can you say about both of us, right? Hanuman says, Bhagwan, he smiles. He says, if you are asking in relation to the body, me being embodied within the body, because you are not the body, right? Then, I am your devotee. As long as you are in this physical body, you are a devotee of God because God is the higher power, right? He's the source of all creation. But he says, if you are asking in reference to who I am, then, Bhagwan, we are one and the same. The verse says, Ishwara amsa jiva vinashi. And remember, I was telling you something just now, so we continue now. So you see how everything ties into one another, right? I was telling you about the flat line, right? I was telling you about the machine, the electrocardiogram, right? We say that God is here and everywhere, yeah? We agree, right? Where's the God that is here and everywhere? Show me. Explain it to me. I'm going to give you the answer tonight. You want to know that? All you have to say, yes, Baba. Very good. All right, good. Come now, man. I will sleep away and think here, if you don't, Right, good. So, that line normally has, it's called a wavelength or a frequency, right? That line is normally going like this in a zigzag. It's forming a wavelength when? When you are alive, right? And when does the line go flat? When you are? When you kick not the bucket, the barrel. Right? When you die. That's when the line goes flat. What is the only thing that changes from the time that you are alive there to the time that you are dead that can make that wavelength, that frequency disappear? The only thing that has happened there, devotees, is you have exited the body. Yes or yes? You have exited the body. I think about these things long and hard and deep. You have exited the body. Where does that frequency come from? The line that you're seeing, where does it come from? It's somewhere here. It comes from the heartbeat. Right? The heartbeat, the beat of the heart. Where does the heart get the beat from? The pulse that you feel in your body. What do you think that is? The jiva, that divine spark, devotees. When you exit the body, that vibration, that energy that is powering this body, it's like a car. This is the empty shell. The body is the empty shell. Not so when you die. The body is the empty shell. Then you are like you can be the what? The engine in the car. I know too much about car. I know to drive, right? So don't question me on that. So you're like the engine. You power the car has no engine. The car go anywhere. Similarly, you could push the car, not so. If it has no engine, and you can still push it a little bit if it has wheels. Same thing. When you exit the body, they have to carry the body because you can no longer do it on your own. But the point is, devotees, that you are the power that is powering this body. You are not the body. You are the jiva that is within the body, existing here. But that jiva, that expression of God that you are, just like the water contained within this vessel. The bottle is your body. You are the essence. You are what is important. You are what gives meaning and value to this. This have a label. We could call it aqua pur, right? Right? We could call it blue waters. We could call it Dasani. What else? My favorite. We could call it alkaline. You could call it anything you want, right? Just like you have name, Jennifer, Cherish, Brandon, etc. Balmesh. You come into this world, you get a name. You go, the water goes to a company, gets a Brandon. But if it goes back in the ocean, it is water. It's called water in the ocean, right? Water. Right? Now water. Right? When it goes back to the ocean, it becomes one and the same. In creation, this is the merging we talk about. I didn't plan to tell all of that, but Bhagwan knows what he wants a little here, right? This is the merging. In Sanatana Dharma, we talk about the Atman merging with the Paramatma. God is the super soul and we are the soul. There is never a time, mark my words carefully, it is written in Bhagavad Gita. There is never a time when this individual jiva will merge into that divinity that is called God. The merging we talk about is called realization. Bhagwan Shri Krishna says to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, he says that, he was talking about the kings and the princes on the battlefield and stuff, and he said, neither these kings, princes, nor me, nor you, none of us. There's never a time when we did not exist, and nor will there be a time when we cease to exist. He says, cease to exist in the individual form. Sometimes we still think that Bhagwan is waiting there and we are going to merge and become one. No, devotees. You will exit from this body and you will achieve another. Based on something that is very, very important. Based on one thing. What is that one thing, devotees? It is a state of awareness. Chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Shri Krishna says, whatever state of awareness you have at that time of death, whatever state of awareness you are in, that is what you will manifest when you exit the body. You think you go to heaven, you manifest one. You think you go to hell, you manifest one. So don't think you're going to hell, please. Right? You think you're going to Pitralok, meet the ancestors, you manifest that experience. We have so much power sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time we limit ourselves because we don't understand this. We think, you hear this sometimes, you're like, oh, that sounds far-fetched. I don't think that's real. Somebody asked me a couple days ago, they were like, well, Baba, it has so many things out here, and I'm not a Hindu, but I deal with so many people from different faiths, right? It's like, I'm hearing one thing here, one thing there, whatever, I don't know, but I want to understand. How can I believe in reincarnation? How can I believe that that really happens? Sati Devi, you just saw it here. Parvati Mata came back. But in our time, where's the example? I'm going to give a little science. Right? Dr. Deepak Chopra, at one point in time, a neurophysicist, he's very invested into the scriptures and all of those things as well. He was saying, we reincarnate all the time. Scientifically. The body you have now, is that the same one you had when you were a baby? Is this the same body you had when you were a baby? No. Could you fit in the same body as when you were a baby? You might fit because the jiva can fit anywhere. But it's not. It is not the same body. Your nails, your hair has changed. Your nails, no, go in, disappear. Right? Devotees, everything starts to change. Your nails changes, your hair, everything. When you get into more devotion, your chemistry changes. I have experienced this also. Your body chemistry changes. You start looking different. You start changing. And then recently I also heard Sadhguru saying the same thing as well. And it's true. So if your body changes, what is rebirth? What is reincarnation? Reincarnation is taking a new what? A new body. So if you are in a new body now that you were not in all your life, then what does that mean? You have already reincarnated many times. Jai Bhagwan, I put in a little thing tonight. I just really collected that. I studied that a long time back. Right? Devotees, these are little things that we have to think about. Sometimes we say things, but we don't really understand it. So the question was posed to me, well, how can I confirm it? That's one example. There are many documented stories now you can hear. Right? In many parts of the world where children come back and they are telling, just the other day I went through puja and talking to somebody and they were saying that their child, little daughter, was telling them about her last family and how it used to be and all of that. I experienced that firsthand. When I say things, I don't say it by guess or for joke's sake. I say it because I know what I'm talking about. But even beyond that, there's something called spiritual insight that I have tapped in to, right? Through meditation and these things. You are able to access certain things. You're able to understand certain things that are beyond what the average person now knows and things. So I was telling this individual, well, this is the process of what happens and all of that based on what I have seen and based on what I have experienced, not what I read in a book. There's a big difference there. Because I've always wanted to know why devotees. I've always wanted to understand what is really happening. I want to see, I want to know for myself. And if Bhagwan could give that power to great saints, why can't he give it to me? But am I willing to do the work to achieve it? Of course. And doing that tapasya, doing it more and more, you start elevating and going through different levels of realization. You start to realize, hey, I am part of God. God is not part of me. He's the larger entity. God is the big ball of fire. You like that little diya lighting there. I am that divine spark. But just like Hanuman said, even though I'm that spark lighting there, if I put this back into the big fire, it becomes one. Separated from the fire, isn't this still fire? That is the point I'm coming to. Separated from the fire, isn't this still fire? It is still fire. When you become separated from God, you are this individual person that you are. You are still divinity in human form, having this human experience. When you exit this body and you take another one, you'll still be divinity expressing itself. Because Bhagwan expresses himself through each, his or herself, through each and every one of us as that divine energy which we all term as Shakti. Which we all call Shakti. We call it divine Devi Shakti, right? Shakti, that divine energy. Energy is everywhere. That vibration is everywhere. It's in me, it's in you. It is in the earth, it is in the sky, it is in the water. That's why we worship the water. That's why we worship the rain. That is why we worship the sun. You thought it was for just so sake, for style? We are worshiping all of these things because they are all God expressing itself. The vibration, the energy, that is making up the sun, that is God. The vibration that is making up me, that is God. The vibration that is making up you right now is God. Do you know there are certain lenses that you can look through at a higher level, right? If you look, you can see the energy of an individual. You see them as an energy being, but not as a physical being. You know, dogs, when they look at you, they don't see this physical form. They see a vibration. You are a vibrational being. It's just that you are looking through these physical eyes. And when you look through these physical eyes, that is what you will see. So Bhagwan says, start trying to look through the spiritual eye, the eye of intuition, by going within. And when you go and you achieve that state, you will start realizing who you really are, which is you are that essence of God. You are part of God. That is the merging. It's not God is here, you are here. People think it's like that. God is here, you are here, and you're going to merge like this. No. Merging with God means understanding God, means realizing God, means understanding and realizing that God is not there on the baby, but He is here. You pray there to invoke the presence within. You use all these methods and processes to activate certain things within yourself. Bolo Shari Shakti Sharma Mata Ki Jai. Devotees. So here, as this sage is speaking and he's telling, what happens? This king, he says, obviously, these words cannot go in vain. It cannot go in vain at all. And then Naraji starts saying all of these different things, and he's giving this great philosophy now. He continues to say something, and what does he say? Sura Sarijala Krita Baruni Jana. This is very, very important now. A very simple example. Kabahuna Samta Karahitehi Pana. Holy men would never even drink wine, knowing though that it is made from the purest of water. Is that important one? You say, Baba, a couple days ago somebody asked me. Well, these days I get a lot of questions, right? Because I try to answer them through videos on social media to educate people. Because I believe that's my purpose. People say, well, Baba, we could drink alcohol that has no meat in it. How many times, Panduranga, you probably get that question also. Say that has no meat in it. All right. You want to know why you stay away from it? Of course, right? Because when you're fasting, fasting is conditioning of the mind. Right? You condition the body so that the body is calm and relaxed and peaceful, so that the mind can also become relaxed, calm and peaceful. When you use an intoxicant, even caffeine in high contents, lots and lots of coffee, for the wake everybody fasting, eh? See how we do things and we don't know. You're using it to wake, Jai Bhagwan, alright, cool. Anything in high quantities is not too good, right? So now, caffeine in high quantities, it intoxicates the mind. Wine, alcohol, those things, it intoxicates the mind. If you are in a period of fasting, you wouldn't consume it because you cannot focus properly. If you drink too much, what has happened to you? What's happened? Is that a walk side to side and thing? And all kind of things happen, right? You started moving all different directions, you're watching and you're like, where's this, right? You start to see double and all sorts of things. You see in movies and when you watch, not so? All sorts of things happen, you fall down this side, that happen next. You cannot be in a state of balance. I hope that makes sense to you now. Now you understand why. So when you do that, when you stay away from it, it helps you stay in a state of balance. So here, he says, holy men will not even taste that, even though they know it's from the Ganges. But, Surasari Mileso Pavana Jaise, Isa Anisahi Amtaru Taise. Says, but the same wine becomes pure when it is poured into the Holy Ganga. Such is the distinction between the individual soul and God. I didn't read this before, by the way. I'm reading this in front of you now. How could I have possibly known, live example in front of you, how could I have possibly known that this is what was going to come next? And I was now telling you about the individual soul and God. You're seeing it live and direct. I was just telling you about spiritual insight. That alone tells you that I'm not making up what it is I'm saying. I didn't even know that was coming in next verse. So he says, such is the distinction between the individual soul and God. The individual soul is here. It comes in the body and it gets intoxicated by the Maya in this world. It gets contaminated by all the Maya in this world. But when you start to surrender to Bhagwan, what happens? You start surrendering to Bhagwan. All of those demerits, devotees, will be removed. And all that you will be filled with is virtues. And that is called moksha, liberation, salvation, or self-realization. That is the goal of all human beings in this world. To glorify the divine name of Bhagwan Shiva.
Nataraja, Nataraja, Natan Shikara Raja, Shivaraja, Shivaraja, Natan Shik Shivaraja.
Let's sing together with faith, love and devotion.
Nataraja, Nataraja, Natan Shekara Raja,
Nataraja, Nataraja, Natan Shekara Raja,
Shivaraja, Shivaraja, Natan नतन शेख शिव राजा
शिव राजा शिव राजा नतन शेख शिव राजा
शिव शिव नमो हर हर नमो
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 शंकर शिवनत राजा
शंकर शिवनाथ राजा
शंकर शिवनत राजा
शंकर शिवनाथ राजा
नत राजा नत राजा नतन शेखर राजा
नथ राजा नथ राजा नथन शेखर राजा
शिव राजा शिव राजा नतन शेख शिव राजा
शिव राजा शिव राजा नथन शेख शिव राजा
नमः पार्वती पत हर हर
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 हर हर हर हर महादेवा ओम
हर 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 महादेवा
हर 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 महादेवा
ओम हर 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 महादेवा
नत राजा नतन शेखर राजा बोलो
नथ राजा नथन शेखर राजा
शिव राजा नतन शेख शिव राजा
शिव राजा नथन शेख शिव राजा
Now, that may have been a little bit difficult for you to chant, right? Devotees, I'm giving you an opportunity now. Bhagwan has given you an opportunity to chant his name tonight, to offer your love to him. And Bhagwan, let's pray together. We ask you to cleanse, to purify us, to uplift us, to help us to become more realized with the wisdom that we are receiving. Take us to higher and higher levels so that we can have the best experience upon the face of the earth. That may have been difficult, but this we can all chant.
Om Namah Shivaya. Sing.
Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya
Shivaya Rudraya Namaha. Sing.
Shivaya Rudraya Namaha
Shivaya Rudraya Namaha.
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 Shivaya Rudraya Namaha
Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardanam urvarukmiva bandhanat nityormokshiyamamritat. Bolo.
Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardanam urvarukmiva vandhanat mrityumokshayamamritat.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah
Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardanam urvarukmiva bandhanat mrityurmokshiyamamritat.
Bolo Shima Mahadev ki Jai. Devotees, at this point in time, Katha comes to an end tonight. As we will continue once more tomorrow, as we will continue to join in beautiful Katha, as we continue this most wonderful Katha to hear what happens next with Parvati Devi. Now, as that sage continues to instruct and tell about Lord Shiva, what happens next? We will listen tomorrow. So with that being said, devotees, let's join in our final आरती. आरती के लिए सब खड़ा हो जाइए. ये आरती वाली मंत्र स्टार्ट है. आरती. ओम साजम प्रवर्ति संयुक्त महिला योजना में दीपम ज्ञान दिवस त्रैलोक्यम दिमिरापहम दीपम दर्शयामि. बोलो श्री शक्ति शर्मा माता की जय.
सुनो मेरे देवे पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया. अम्मा
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया.
सुनो मेरे देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया. मैया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया.
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल,
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल,
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल,
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल.
ले तेरी भेंट चढ़ाया, ले तेरी भेंट चढ़ाया. अम्मा
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया.
सुबह चोल तेरे अंग विराजे,
सुबह चोल तेरे अंग विराजे,
सुबह चोल तेरे अंग विराजे,
सुबह चोल तेरे अंग विराजे.
केसर तिलक लगाया, केसर तिलक लगाया. मैया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया.
नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया,
नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया,
नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया.
नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया.
सोने का छत्र चढ़ाया, सोने का छत्र चढ़ाया. अम्मा
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया.
ऊंचे पर्वत बनो दीवाला,
ऊंचे पर्वत बनियो दीवाला,
ऊंचे पर्वत बनो दीवाला.
ऊंचे पर्वत बनियो दीवाला.
नीचे शहर बसाया, नीचे शहर बसाया. मैया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया.
सत्युग द्वापर त्रेता मध्ये,
सत्युग द्वापर त्रेता मध्ये,
सत्युग द्वापर त्रेता मध्ये.
सत्युग द्वापर त्रेता मध्ये.
राज समाया, कलयुग राज समाया। मैया
सुन मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती।
मोहन भोग लगाया, मोहन भोग लगाया। अम्मा सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया। जानू भगत में तेरे गुण गावे,
जानू भगत में तेरे गुण गावे,
जानू भगत में तेरे गुण गावे।
जानू भगत में तेरे गुण गावे।
मन वांछित फल पाया, मन वांछित फल पाया। अम्मा
सुन मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
जय देवी महाकाली रे, जय देवी महाशक्ति रे। बोलो
जय देवी महाकाली रे, जय देवी महाशक्ति रे।
जय देवी महाकाली रे, जय देवी महाशक्ति रे।
जय देवी महाकाली रे, जय देवी महाशक्ति रे।
जयंती मंगला काली, भद्रकाली कपालिनी, दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री, स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते। जय देवी महा
काली रे, जय देवी महाशक्ति रे। जय देवी महाकाली रे, जय देवी महाशक्ति रे।
जय देवी महाकाली रे, जय देवी महाशक्ति रे। जय देवी महा
काली रे, जय देवी महाशक्ति रे।
जय देवी महाशक्ति रे, जय देवी महाशक्ति रे। जय देवी महाशक्ति रे।
We clasp our hands, we close our eyes and bow our heads in prayers. We thank Bhagwan for blessing us with this most wonderful opportunity to chant His divine name, Bhagwan. Today, as we come before you once more, Divine Mother, Adi Shakti Jaganama Mata, Bhagwan Shiva, we seek your grace and blessings into our lives. We pray, we ask for you to cleanse, purify, and uplift us, guide us in this world, so that we can grow from strength to strength. I pray blessings upon each and every one of you, my group on stage, the Yajman, the Shrutas, devotees, the Mandir, our families, our homes, our village, our country, and the world at large.
Om mantrahinam
क्रियाहीनं
bhaktihinam
जनार्दनं
yat pujitam
मया देवा
paripurnam
तरस्तु मे
त्वमेव माता
च पिता त्वमेव
त्वमेव बन्धुश्च
च सखा त्वमेव
त्वमेव विद्या
द्रविणं त्वमेव
त्वमेव सर्वं
मम देवदेवम्
अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरिं श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिकावल्लभं जानकीनायकं रामचन्द्रं भजे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे।
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे।
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
With faith, love, and devotion, we lift our voices a final time tonight as we chant Vikshi to Bhagwan. Bolo Shri Shakti Shri Rama Mata ki Jai, Shri Mahabri Mahadev ki Jai.
श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। हर नम पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। जय सीताराम एवरीवन। आराम से बैठिए, seat yourselves most comfortably. Again, I would like to say special thanks to each and every one of you for taking the time to come out. Again, we continue tomorrow night. Make sure you come and bring a friend in our real room day. Don't worry, we'll get chairs. Right? Come and bring a friend. Our tea will come to you. Prasadam is there. Meals are lovingly prepared. So please stay and partake before going to your wonderful homes. Thank you again to my wonderful, wonderful group on stage for joining me every night. Today as well, my dear sister for joining me. Every night, we have special guests additionally that will be coming on the other nights as well. So please be present to join with us in devotion. It only gets better each night that goes by, not so? You don't agree? Every night it just keeps growing and keeps growing. So you can't come one night, you'll miss out the rest. So it's important to be here every night to take part in these wonderful vibrations that are being created by my wonderful group on stage, Cosmic Vibrations. So I hand over to them at this point to give you beautiful bhajan.
अम्ब परमेश्वरी अखिलादेश्वरी आदि पराशक्ति पालयमा। अम्ब परमेश्वरी अखिलादेश्वरी आदि पराशक्ति पालयमा। अम्ब परमेश्वरी अखिलादेश्वरी आदि पराशक्ति पालयमा।
श्री महागंगे माता देवी सुरेश्वरी शरणं शरणं ताये। अमा पारं पारो